Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so you've brought us a really interesting source today, a single novel that's getting a lot of attention.
That's right. We're looking at Isekai Ending.exe by Darrell Marlin.
And our mission, really, is to dig into why this book's hitting home. It's got, what, a 4.5-star rating?
Yep, 4.5 out of 5. And it's offering something quite different within the isekai genre, which is, huge globally.
Right.
We're not just doing a plot summary here. We want to extract the core idea, why this specific Another World story matters, why you should potentially care about it.
Okay, so Isekai, let's just quickly define that for anyone maybe less familiar. Literally another world.
Yeah, exactly. And typically you get thrown into this world, there's immediate danger, monsters, maybe a demon lord.
Yeah, high stakes, high chaos.
Yeah.
You've got some special power, you need to save the kingdom, like yesterday. Lots of action.
That's the standard playbook. Good escapism, sure. But Isekai Ending.exe, well, the clue's in the title. Marlin starts the story after all that.
After the big battle.
Yeah. The protagonist gets dropped not into peril, but into this unexpected, calm, tranquility, almost. The war is done. The big bad is gone.
Huh. Oh, okay, that is a twist. It sort of sidesteps the whole save the world thing immediately.
Yeah.
Makes it about something else entirely.
Precisely. Which leads us to our protagonist, Alex Thompson. He gets pulled into this world, Aetheroria, pretty much against his will.
And he's not like a super-powered warrior chosen by destiny.
Nope. Just a regular person, apparently caught up in a summoning ritual that didn't quite go as planned. Maybe a bit of a clerical error, dimensionally speaking.
Okay, so Aetheroria. Describe this place. If the war's over, is it all ruins and recovery?
Actually, no. Quite the opposite. The sources say it's described really vividly lush, peaceful, almost idyllic.
Really?
Yeah. It's a world that's actively celebrating the peace they won maybe decades ago. Think monuments to past heroes, but also like efficient local government and maybe debates about artisanal tea flavors.
Okay. So Alex arrives, ready for, well, something epic, and
Right.
finds bureaucracy and tea.
Pretty much. He's completely redundant in the classic hero sense. If he did have some amazing power, there's no obvious place to use it.
Which, as the sources note, shifts the conflict right away.
Totally. It moves from an external threat, fight the monster, save the princess, to something internal. A void, almost.
So his challenge isn't a demon lord, it's,
Yeah.
what, filling out forms?
Sometimes, yeah. Like maybe navigating the paperwork for being a new resident with potentially unstable dimensional energy. It's the sheer mundanity of peace after presumed heroism.
That's kind of brilliant. It feels like a commentary on the genre itself. We always want the big fight, but what happens after?
And that's the core theme Marlin explores. The end of conflict isn't the end of adventure, or at least it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Alex's real task is to find, or maybe even create, a sense of purpose, of excitement in a world that's gotten, well, comfortable, complacent even. He's battling inertia, not dragons.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. I can imagine someone thinking, doesn't that make it boring? Lower stakes. How does Marlin keep you engaged without constant danger?
That's the key challenge, right? And it seems Marlin handles it by making the stakes personal and emotional rather than world-ending.
Personal stakes. Meaning?
Meaning, Alex has to figure out who he is in this world. If his destiny as the hero just fizzles out, what's left? If his only power is something minor, like making it drizzle slightly. How does he use that to maybe help settle a long-running but very peaceful dispute between two farming villages about water rights, or something equally low-key?
Okay, so it grounds the fantasy.
Yeah.
Makes it relatable, almost like an adulting struggle, but with, magic.
Exactly. And that's what the reviews are calling this powerful metaphor, finding meaning when the big, obvious goals are gone.
So Alex isn't this instant powerhouse. He's full of doubt.
Completely. He embodies that feeling, after you finish a huge project or reach a milestone and you think, okay, now what? That kind of emptiness.
Right.
His journey from just some guy to this. Maybe reluctant, subtle kind of hero trying to inject some meaning back into things. That mirrors, I think, a lot of people's feelings in a world that can feel safe, but maybe a bit uninspiring sometimes.
It redefines heroism on a smaller scale. Maybe the hero is the one who gets the community garden going, not the one slaying monsters.
Spot on. And the supporting cast really helps drive this home. They're not just like stock fantasy characters.
Yeah, the sources really praise the character dynamics.
They do. Take the mentor figure, for example. Not your usual wise old wizard who knows everything.
Oh.
Apparently, this mentor is a retired champion, someone who did save the world and is now dealing with this massive existential funk. Like, what do I do now? Maybe they're trying to take up knitting and failing miserably.
Huh. So they're struggling with the exact same problem as Alex, just from the winner's circle side, post-victory blues.
Precisely. And their struggle really informs Alex's journey. Then you have the comic relief character.
Let me guess, not just for laughs.
Right. Their boundless optimism and maybe slightly pointless quests for minor thrills, like trying to catalog every type of mushroom in the Whispering Woods just because that's the spark Alex often needs. They suggest the small, maybe silly adventures.
Gotcha. It keeps the introspection from getting too heavy. The relationships sound quite authentic.
Yeah, they feel real, which
Yeah.
boosts the emotional connection.
Okay, let's talk about the actual reading experience. The style. If it's post-conflict, it probably isn't page after page of fight scenes.
Definitely not. Marlin's prose is described as very descriptive, almost painterly. It really aims to make Aetheroria feel tangible, real.
Immersive.
Very. He takes time to build that sense of peace, that beauty. You're not just told it's calm. You, smell the baking bread, see the details on the peace banners. It invites you to savor the quiet.
But doesn't that risk slowing things down too much? A lot of description can sometimes stall the plot in fantasy. How does it maintain momentum? That's about pacing, isn't it?
It is, and the sources say it strikes a delicate balance. It's not fast-paced action, but it's not meant to be sluggish either. It's deliberate.
So what's the rhythm like? How does it mix that quiet reflection with, keeping things moving?
It seems the structure relies on these moments of deep, quiet Alex reflecting, the mentor being philosophical, and then punctuates them
But go on.
with bursts of humor or these lighthearted, genuinely low-stakes adventures.
So, okay, give me an example of that contrast.
Right, so maybe Alex is in the Hall of Heroes, feeling totally dwarfed by the legends, deep in thought about his lack of purpose.
Okay.
And just as he hits peak existential dread, bam, the comic relief character bursts in, totally panicked because, I don't know, the mayor's prize-winning pumpkin for the festival has gone missing.
Huh. Okay, so the stakes are objectively tiny, but emotionally big for the characters involved.
Exactly. It's that mix of the profound and the slightly absurd that keeps it engaging without needing constant world-ending threats.
That's clever. And it ties back to the reader, doesn't it? As Alex finds his way, maybe discovering he's good at mediating disputes or organizing events, not fighting it, prompts us to think about our own lives.
Absolutely. The book seems to gently push you to look at your own aspirations, your own definition of adventure.
Yeah.
It highlights those smaller things, relationships, community involvement, learning a new skill that often shape us more than the huge dramatic moments. It challenges that idea that heroism has to be loud and violent.
So summing up the audience,
Yeah.
who is this book really for? Who gets the most out of Isekai Ending.exe?
Well, first off, fantasy readers who might be a little weary of the constant save-the-world plot, if you want a thoughtful twist on Isekai, something that plays with the tropes, this seems ideal.
Okay. And given the focus on internal journey, it sounds like it's for readers who value character development and theme, maybe more than nonstop action.
Definitely. If you like character-driven stories, rich world building that feels lived in, and you're looking for something with a bit more meaning, maybe some inspiration beyond just escapism, this hits that mark.
Does it work for newcomers to Isekai too, or just the veterans?
The reviews suggest both, actually. Veterans appreciate the smart subversion, while newcomers might connect more directly with the universal themes of finding purpose, friendship, and questioning what success really means.
Right. So that high 4.5-star rating isn't necessarily for thrilling battles, but for its innovative take on what happens after the battles are won.
That seems to be the consensus, yeah. It's seen as a really refreshing addition to the genre precisely because it challenges those norms. It blends that introspection with genuine humor and heart.
Okay.
It basically makes the case that maybe the most compelling adventure isn't fighting the external monster, but figuring out your own value when the world doesn't need you to be a monster slayer anymore. It kind of transcends the genre label in that way.
So bringing this deep dive on Isekai Ending.exe to a close, the big takeaway seems clear. Maybe the hardest quest isn't saving the world, but finding your purpose after it's already safe. Shifting from the external fight to the internal one.
Exactly. And that leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on, really. If all the big conflicts, the major pressures in your own life just vanished tomorrow, if things suddenly became peaceful, stable, maybe even a little too comfortable, where would you look for your next adventure? And how would you define being heroic in a time of quiet complacency?